Okay, there goes my train. Good morning, I'm still Jeremy and I'm here at Nishi-Kaseda station. This is the JR Wakayama Line, which connects Nara and Wakayama. This station, Nishi-Kaseda, is the least used station on the whole line. Fewer than 50 people a day get on the train here. When I just got off, nobody else got off and nobody got on. And I'm on an expedition today to see something that I noticed on Google Maps. It's just something that is so obscure, but very cool and a really interesting history, and I got kind of obsessed with it for about a week. So I'm here now to go see it. It's called the Dragon's Aqueduct. All right, there it is in the very lower right, Tatsu Notoy. This community is part of a larger town called Katsuragi. The Nishi-Kaseda area is in a basin between two mountain ranges. The big Kino River flows through it westward. The area is known for some of the most bountiful fruit production in central Japan, and also for especially hot summers. And it's a quiet community. You only hear the sound of water, which is central to my quest today, and the occasional passing train. So the Dragon's Aqueduct is up this road. It's actually a national highway with no sidewalk. First of all, some trees cut into circles. I suppose that's a cartoon drawing on a sign. As is that. So let's walk up here and I'll tell you about the aqueduct and why it has captured my imagination. So it was back in the early 1700s, like 1707. While the Edo era was raging, while Tokyo was sort of developing, Tokyo was called Edo then, becoming one of the world's most refined and great cities. Over here, the leader of the kingdom said, we need to irrigate this area because over there are mountains. Behind me is the Kino River, but the water doesn't really go up into the rice terraces very well. So we need to do something, but engineering is difficult for this sort of land. So he hired this guy called Ohata Saizo. And I'm not an engineer, I don't know anything about waterways, but I learned a lot in the last few days about this aqueduct. So the Kinokawa River is running here, and of course rivers are run downhill. But they needed to add an irrigation channel. This is what Ohata Saizo created. So it's called the Odai Irrigation Channel. So it starts several kilometers up there on the river. Water comes off the river into a ditch that they dug. But just like the river, the irrigation ditch needs to always be slightly angled so the gravity will pull the water and pull it forth. So to do that, you have to route around all the little hills and you know, things of the topography. You can't go up a hill and then back down the hill or anything. You can't go into a valley and then back up it because gravity doesn't work that way. So you always have to kind of survey really carefully about how you can make this irrigation channel go through the countryside. So he did that. He successfully used some advanced techniques of surveying to really get an exact little course for this irrigation channel so it's always slightly inclined and the water would flow. Very hot and humid today. Let me take a break here in the shade here. So this is the Anabushi River, and it's not real big, but it's just big enough to have embankments and you can't do the irrigation channel there. So he had to build an aqueduct over it. Aqueduct is also slightly angled. So this cool aqueduct was designed and to continue on into the rice fields. So it worked and everything, but it was made out of wood and it kept getting destroyed by floods and stuff. So in 1919, they rebuilt it as a brick aqueduct, an archway aqueduct. The water goes on top, the river flows underneath it. They're both allowed to kind of go freely and neither interacts with the other. And it has become a local source of pride and it's just a really cool looking thing. And here it is. But before we interact with it much, let me show you these buildings. Look at these buildings. Look what you can see here. You see this view here and you see the view here. This is only recently the case. If you look at Google Street View, there used to be buildings all along here and the road used to be a lot narrower. They've added this, I think every now and then people would actually come to visit the aqueduct and they would park and it was real dangerous on the road. So they added this sort of gentleman's agreement parking area, like park here. It's not really for parking, but if you do it, we won't give you a ticket. So they've torn down a lot of these houses. I don't know why these aren't torn down, but I like them. I mean, that's kind of an incredible house. So I'm glad these are still there across the street. But here's the big moment, the aqueduct. And it's called Tatsu Notoy, which kind of means the dragon's water crossing or something. I just think it's cooler to call it the dragon's aqueduct. Sounds better. I think we can get a little bit closer. This sign points out how you can get delicious rice and vegetables and fruit thanks to this canal. Okay, this sign explains this was it in 1918. So this was before it was rebuilt. This is kind of made out of wood and looks nice, but it kept getting destroyed. So the next year, 1919, it looked like this. That's the new one. 1850s drawing, so the water would come in from here and go across that. So let's see. A little walkway to go over it. So here is the water. It's not flowing very much now, but it is slowly flowing this way. Comes from there. Goes down there and continues under the road and back off into more of the rice fields and other fields. And the Anabushi River flows undisturbed underneath it all. Dragonfly, just like on the sign. Okay. Even a little picnic area, or sort of a bench area. Sit here. It's too hot to sit around today, I think. I'm sweating buckets just from the short walk from the station. Our spider webs between me and the camera. I don't quite know what this is doing. There is a sign over there, but it's all in Japanese and it's over my head. But it's doing something and it's cool. Okay, actually, if I'm not mistaken, this is some kind of mechanism for if there's too much water, that it sort of regulates something. Engineers, please let me know what's going on here. There's a bunch of dragonflies here. How cool to see a bunch of dragonflies at the Dragon's Aqueduct. Let's see, how much farther does this go? Guess this is someone's private area, private fruit field. Well, there is a viewing platform over here. You can get a little lower view of the aqueduct itself. It rained this morning for about half an hour here, and everything has puddles on it, and it is super humid. There it is, looking pretty much like it looked in 1919, the Dragon's Aqueduct. I guess the railing on top is new. Amazing stone and brick work, and it's just gorgeous looking. And it's really, really cool to see something that I just saw on a map and seemed so obscure and so far away, and I endeavored to get here and saw it myself. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Can you see the sweat on me? I mean, I've been outside less than half an hour. It's kind of unbelievable. I recommend you come here if you're anywhere in the area. If you want to see this cool aqueduct and check it off your list, I do not recommend you come here in the middle of July. The other thing I'll say about that is that as far as I know, there's nowhere in this town. There's no train station. There's just a little overhang. There's nothing in this town. There's nowhere I can go indoors right now. There's no public stores, no convenience stores or anything around here. So I'm just outside until the next train comes. Trains are every hour. So I've spent about half an hour out here. So mine's coming in about half an hour, and I'm just subject to the whims of the humidity. Look at that. Very large duck or something, goose, flying. That's almost a notable bird because that was pretty interesting. I think so. Here's the view from behind the aqueduct. Anabushi flows there, and goes under the aqueduct there. Walking across the aqueduct again. There's one more thing. I was unable to tell on Google Maps if I have to walk back down this sort of boring little road back down to the station, or if I can cut through here somewhere. It looked like I could, but I couldn't tell on Google Maps because the Google streetcar didn't come here. Can I cut through here and go walk through the town and see more of the town rather than nothing? So let's go check that out. So this, by the way, is the canal, the Odai irrigation canal, just before that aqueduct. At other times, it will be a lot more water flowing through here, but it's still enough to support all the rice fields between here and the mountains. No shortage of cartoon drawings on signs. It's a blue dragonfly, and right under him in the water, a 1 yen coin. That must be a clue for something. I don't actually know where I'm going. I just assumed it's not a very big community, so I won't get lost. I saw some frogs down here. I see we see frogs. Frogs, come be on camera. I swear I saw frogs. Pretty cool how this irrigation channel just winds all through this town. Really important. The whole thing is 33 kilometers long. There is actually some little bus service that includes this town. It's called the Katsuragi Town Community Bus. It only comes, looks like 6 times a day, both directions, 3 times a day in either direction. You know what I mean, 6 times total. Oh, lost dog. Hope they find him. Okay, well here we are back at the station. 2 bicycles and 2 scooters. All right, here's your scooter. I wonder if these are people who park here all day while they take the train off to Wakayama or Nara to go to work or school or something. But not abandoned. Okay, I am almost literally melting here. I can barely see my list on my phone because of the sweat going into my eyes, but let's do it. Here's the checklist today. Not a great one again. Abandoned bicycle, interesting statue or figurine. Hang on, there's something on my ear. Motor scooter, obachan with cart, notable bird, cartoon drawing on sign, graffiti, hair salon, tree cut into circles, car elevator, haha, beer vending machine. Well, not the greatest, but does that count as graffiti? It's a drawing. Why not? Sure, of course it's graffiti. So anyway, thank you for coming with me here to the least used station on the JR Wakayama Line, and something that should become, after this video, a huge tourist draw. But for now, we saw it only by ourselves when it was still a secret. The Dragon's Aqueduct. So I'm gonna go and try to cool off. How long till my train comes? 8 minutes till the train. I mean, this is ridiculous. But I have water and I have Cool Wipes in my bag. So anyway, thanks for coming along, and I'll see you on the next adventure, whatever that may be. I do not know yet. Watch today's full video, including my misadventure in getting back to Osaka, plus more exclusive travelogues, video diaries, and other stuff as a paid or free supporter at patreon.com/T1DWanderer. Special thanks this week in random order to Samantha, Lever Wong, Michael Fedor, Will Phillips, Calvin Ferreira, Matt Kane, David Richley, Lars Steenberg, Darcy Otranto, Ray Nichols, and Russell Davis. Thanks for wandering around the Dragon's Aqueduct with me. Everywhere is worth exploring.